So until now we were looking at hard SVM, where we assumed that the points to be classified were separable, right? So if we have nonlinear boundaries, then in general we should be able to separate any kind of data given the expressiveness of the kernel. If we choose a kernel like a radial basis function or which is also called a Gaussian kernel, we should be able to separate all the data points. But the problem, what happens is that it sometimes divides the input space into many small fragments, and those fragments are not desirable. So although the data may be separable in a nonlinear sense, we may not completely want to separate it, and we may want the boundaries of the support vector machine to be smoother. So that smoothness is basically precisely what regularization is all about. So we will just assume that they are not separable. We want to allow for some misclassification. So if we want to allow for some misclassification, what we saw in linear SVM is that we introduced slack variables, and those slack variables were allowed to have value greater than 0 for the points that were intruding into the margin, and greater than 1 even when they were misclassified. But we wanted to minimize the overall number of points that were misclassified, including their absolute distance from the misclassification boundary and from the margin itself actually, while putting a constraint on the mod of W. We wanted to be able to do a trade-off between how complicated, how many points are misclassified versus how small is the norm of W, or how large is the margin. Okay, so we will have an error function. We won't have an error function that will give an infinite error upon misclassification. We want some finite misclassification error. So basically, just like in the linear SVM, we will have a slack variable xi, which will be greater than or equal to 0 for all points, okay, such that it is 0 if the point is on the correct side of the margin boundary, and it will be greater than 0 if it intrudes into the margin or it is misclassified. Precisely, it is going to be t times mod of t times t minus yn. Okay, so that formulation now changes slightly from the hard margin SVM. So what we will have is the loss function will be in terms of WB, and now we will have A and mu. Okay, so I'll show you what mu is. Basically, it comes in with the slack variables. So as before, we will have half mod of W square, okay, norm of W square. Right. And now what we will introduce is we already had this, right? We had I, right, AI, right, and then we had times ti y of xi, right. Then we had -1, right? So we will have that -1, but then we will also have this slack variable xi, okay, and this will be the close bracket close, okay. So here we have another inequality. That inequality is that this slack variable is greater than or equal to 0. So what we will have is, so first of all, we will have we want to minimize the sum of the slack variables, and we want to enforce that all the slack variables are greater than or equal to 0. So where does this come from? This is Lagrange multiplier for the condition that each and every xi is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, and where does this C come from? This C comes from the trade-off between W and minimizing the xi. This is like the lambda that we had for the hard SVM, right? So instead of lambda, we are saying it is going to be C here. So now if we solve this, the KKT conditions will be slightly different. Earlier we had 3 KKT conditions, now we'll have 6 KKT conditions because we also have the Lagrange multiplier over xi. So the 6 conditions are going to be: AI is going to be greater than equal to 0, okay, Ti times yxi, right, minus 1 plus xi is greater than equal to 0, and then the product of the two is going to be equal to 0. So that is straightforward. Okay, so these are the 3 original KKT conditions, except that instead of just -1 we have -1 plus xi. Okay. Now we will have 3 other KKT conditions from the condition that xi is greater than equal to 0. So one will be that all the Lagrange multipliers mu I are greater than equal to 0, the Lagrange coefficients, and then we will have xi greater than equal to 0, right? And then whenever mu I is 0, xi is strictly greater than 0. Whenever mu I is greater than 0, then xi is strictly equal to 0. So we will have mu I xi equal to 0. Okay. So using this 6 conditions, we can now eliminate W, and we can have everything in terms of the dot products of xi and xj. Okay. Once we eliminate W, W itself will be based on a summation of xi, and when we plug that into yxi, which is W transpose xi plus b, what we will get is xi and xj's together. So similarly, what we have as before, we will have del L by del W, okay, equal to 0, and that will imply that W is equal to sum over I AI Ti Xi, okay, and then del L by del B equal to 0 will imply that sum of AI Ti is equal to 0, right? And then del L by del the slack variable I equal to 0, that will imply that AI is equal to C minus mu I. So we will substitute this back, and we will see how this eliminates xi and W and B, and we'll get everything in terms of A and mu, and basically we will also get as a consequence of that the dual form of soft SVM, where instead of single xi's we will have dot products of x. So basically now your loss function, it's a different loss function in terms of just A, is going to be sum over I AI, okay, minus half sum over I sum over j. These are all training points, pairs of training points now, including the training point with itself. We are going to get AI AJ Ti Tj, similar to what we had for the hard SVM, Xi transpose Xj, alright, and the condition that we will get is 0 is less than equal to AI is less than equal to C, okay, and we will also get sum of AI Ti equal to 0. So these conditions that A can only be between 0 and C are called box conditions. So A is boxed into 0 and C, okay. So what does this mean? What does it mean that A is boxed? So basically we have 3 types of A's for all points. We have points where AI is 0. So that means those points do not affect the equation. they will the term inside the double summation is going to be 0 for those AIs or AJs which are 0. Those are precisely those points that are not support vectors. They do not matter. And then there are points that are going to be C, right? And then there are going to be points that are between 0 and C. So let's look at this. So whenever AI is equal to 0, okay, then basically your xi I is going to be less than equal to 1. Okay, so these are the points that are correct but in the margin. But inside margin. Okay, when AI is equal to 0, okay, then they are these are AI greater than 0. And whenever AI is equal to 0, that means they are on the correct side of the margin. So these are not support vectors, not SV. Right? And then we have whenever AI is equal to C and xi I is greater than equal to 1, that means these are going to be the incorrect points, incorrectly classified points or misclassified points. Okay, so here it is going to be AI is less than C. Alright, so these are the three different types of points that are defined by this dual form of the SVM. And again, we can replace X transpose X by K of X and X. Okay, two different X's, and we can further derive it to find out for any particular point X how we will compute what the Y is in terms of AI and AJ for all the training points. Actually, not all the training points, only the points that are going to be support vectors for which AI is going to be greater than 0. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the hard SVM. The only thing that is left now is to basically analyze this further, and then we will talk about support vector machines, right? Support vector regression. So here the minimization we already talked about is that L dash of A, which we showed previously. And basically what we have in C, right? C is now your hyperparameter. C is a trade-off between your slack variable penalty and the margin. So what that means is that if you have a large C, then you are putting more and more constraint, more and more emphasis on reducing xis. That means you are putting more and more emphasis on having fewer misclassified points. Okay, and you are not putting a whole lot of emphasis on increasing the margin. So if you don't increase the margin, then basically you are putting more and more emphasis on what do you call it? It's more and more emphasis on correct classification, and because you are putting more emphasis on correct classification, you are going to have more support vectors. On the other hand, if you allow fewer support vectors, you may have misclassifications, more misclassifications, but your boundaries are going to be smoother.